Seniors, you know that moment when you go to stand up from your favorite chair and there's just a split second of hesitation, maybe a little wobble, and you have to put your hand down for balance. If you're like most people over 60, you've noticed this happening more often lately, and you've probably told yourself it's just part of getting older. But what if I told you that this isn't actually age doing this to you? It's something much simpler and much more fixable than you might think. For years, we've all been told the same thing: get your steps in, keep walking, stay active, and you'll be fine. And don't get me wrong, walking is wonderful for your heart and your mood, but here's what nobody's been explaining clearly enough. When you walk on flat ground, you're using less than a third of the strength available in your largest muscle, the one that's supposed to keep you stable and upright. Imagine trying to keep a car running smoothly when you're only ever using first gear. Eventually, the other gears stop working properly because they're never being used. That's essentially what happens to the muscles that protect you from falls. Your body is incredibly efficient, and if you don't regularly ask certain muscles to do their job, your nervous system quietly stops bothering to activate them. This is why someone can walk 2 or 3 miles every single day and still find themselves struggling to get up from a low couch or feeling unsteady when the sidewalk isn't perfectly smooth. The walking keeps your heart healthy, absolutely, but it doesn't prepare your muscles for the moments that actually matter: the quick step to catch your balance, the effort to climb into a car, the strength to stand up without pushing off with your hands. These are the movements that determine whether you can live independently in your own home 10 years from now, or whether you'll need help with basic tasks. I've spent decades working with older adults, and I can tell you the single biggest factor separating those who thrive in their 70s and 80s from those who struggle isn't genetics or luck, it's whether they've kept their legs strong in the right ways. There are specific movements that wake up these sleeping muscles and teach your body to be stable again, and they don't require a gym membership or fancy equipment. Let's start with something that might seem almost too simple: stepping up onto a low platform, like a sturdy step or a wooden box. This isn't just mimicking what you do on stairs, it's actually retraining your leg to lift your entire body weight without relying on momentum to help you. When you walk, you're always moving forward with a bit of rhythm carrying you along, but when you step up, that one leg has to do all the work by itself. This builds the exact kind of strength you need for getting onto a bus, navigating a curb, or climbing stairs without that feeling of heaviness in your legs. The beauty of this movement is that it also strengthens the bone right at the top of your thigh, the very spot that's most vulnerable to fracture if you fall. You don't need a high step, just something a few inches off the ground where you can press through your heel and feel your leg muscles working. Now let's talk about why so many of us start shuffling as we get older instead of striding confidently. It's because we spend so much time sitting that the muscles at the front of our hips get tight and short. And when those muscles are tight, they actually send a signal to the muscles in your backside to relax and switch off. This creates that rounded, forward posture and shortened step that makes you look and feel older than you are. The fix is standing tall and gently extending your leg behind you, not by arching your back, but by squeezing the muscle in your buttock. This simple backward leg movement restores the natural motion in your hip and lets you walk with a longer, more normal stride again. It also takes pressure off your lower back, which is often why people develop that nagging ache that never quite goes away. Speaking of back pain, here's something that surprises most people: chronic lower back discomfort in older adults usually isn't actually a back problem at all. It's because the muscles that are supposed to support your pelvis have stopped doing their job, so your back muscles end up working overtime, trying to hold you upright. Lying on your back and lifting your hips toward the ceiling, keeping your feet flat on the floor, teaches those important muscles to fire properly again and takes the strain off your spine. This movement is gentle enough that almost anyone can do it, even if they haven't exercised in years. But here's where it gets really important. You also need to strengthen the muscles on the sides of your hips, the ones that stop you from tipping sideways. These are absolutely critical because falling to the side is how most serious hip fractures happen. Sitting in a chair and pressing your knees apart against a resistance band isolates these muscles safely And strengthening them is like widening your base of support so your body can catch itself if you start to lose balance. Finally, the movement that truly brings everything together is standing on one leg while the other rests behind you on a low support, then lowering yourself down and pushing back up. This challenges each leg independently so your stronger leg can't cover for your weaker one anymore, and it builds the kind of real, world strength and balance you need to move through life confidently. The remarkable thing about your body is that it responds to what you ask of it, even now. You can rebuild strength and coordination at 70, 80, even 90 years old, but you have to specifically challenge the muscles that matter for independence. Walking is still important, keep doing it, but add these targeted movements a few times each week and you'll notice the difference in how steady you feel, how easily you move, and how much more confident you are in your own strength.